Hey Dario, I'm doing alright. How you doing? It's been a busy week. Hey 234, how's it going? Hey Ed, yeah, I think the new ones I have are, if you want, I can pop out a sheet real quick and do a test. I haven't had a chance to use them, but we could do it right now if you want. Let me just find one. Make sure I get one of the new sheets. That's one of the newer ones. Haven't had a chance to really do any of this stuff, but what we'll do is let me get a little bit of water. Yeah, like I said, if you want to get them from me, contact me off of eBay. I could always do a better price off eBay. The only reason why I list them on eBay is because sometimes people don't go through my website, but because eBay hits you with all those fees, so I'd rather just give you guys the savings if you contact me directly. Alright, let's, you know what we'll do? We'll just put it on like this thing here for now. So I'm pretty sure this is the new sheet. And if you look at it on, kind of look at it, I think this is the new one. Let me see. Nano film. That's nano film. And then maybe I got the wrong one. Let's see. Nano films. And then these are water slides. These are the cheaper ones, so I think these are the older ones. And the nano films feel like they're the newer ones. So let's experiment now and see what happens. Like I said, I haven't pulled out. I have so many sheets I haven't pulled out, but it's worth a shot. So let's. I hardly ever use this color, so we'll do is we'll cut this one. See what happens. Where is my tweezers? Here's the old one. So we'll throw this one in here. Let's see what happens. Yeah, anytime I have something on eBay, whether it's comic book statues, eye decals, always hit me up through my website. I'll get back to you when I can, and definitely do a better deal, because everyone jacks up their prices on eBay for fees. So we'll do is we'll just like slide it onto here once it's kind of comes off. No, Ed, this is what streams are all about. You know, I stream, people ask me a question, I do it live. It's better to answer people's questions on stream so we can actually go over it than to sit there and try to do like a long email on it. I'd rather show people in real time than sit there and try to explain, you know. But, I mean, I've just kind of been prepping up stuff anyway. This is the Psylocke tree. So what I did is I've been setting this up. We're going to kind of attach the magnet. So I put the little rod pieces in there with metal rods. So I just kind of been doing stuff like this yesterday. I actually had a day in the garage to sand her down. Kind of cleaned her up a lot. So we're gonna work on the sleeve coming down here, the gloves, get the hair going, sort of just keep plugging away on this stuff. I don't know if it's been in there long enough, so I didn't cut around the eye. Let's kind of get a little bit closer. Alright, so these were in, yeah, so as you can see, it's kind of hard to see, they're not cut around the eye. So yeah, that one's not cut around the eye. So I don't know if maybe he ever did do that with these. I thought he did, but they feel. Alright, let's see what's going on here. So yeah, I guess he never did them. The guy, Woody. Yeah, I think you gotta still cut them. Yeah, you know, the only thing I could think of is maybe he was planning on doing it, but then he decided to retire and he didn't do it. So that's the only, maybe that's the only reason why. Because he only mentioned it to me like a few months before he actually retired. So I guess maybe he scrapped the idea. I knew a couple things he was experimenting with, but I guess he never did it with these. But yeah, hit me up on an email if you still want them. The ones I have on eBay is the ones I have a lot of pile on, but the realistic ones, I only have. I only got 3 sheets left, but I didn't put these on eBay. If you want one of the realistic ones, let me know. But I mostly have these on eBay, the regular human eyeball ones. I do have somebody that contacted me that does eye decals as well from Etsy. I have to make a video on those. But if you're looking to buy some of these, let me know. I gotta do a video on that stuff when I get a chance. So it looks like there might be somebody else you can get eye decals from. If you want to wait for that video, it's up to you. Yeah, like I said, my thing was when he told me he was retiring, I ordered a shitload of sheets, as you can see, because I realized that A, you never know if you'll be able to find anyone else can make them, and B, sometimes I screw up and I'll spill water on the sheet and it destroys it. So it's always better to have backups just in case. But yeah, hit me up with these sheets. I'll give you a deal on what I got. If anyone else watches this video, more than welcome to contact me through my site. I'll give you guys a better deal. And then once I get that video up of the guy from Etsy, you guys can see somebody else that does eye decals a little bit different. But yeah, I'm trying to just sell the sheets what I got. So like I'm willing to do like $5 a sheet or something off of eBay as well if you guys want to go that route, you know. But you just let me know. We'll work something out. Alright, so I'm gonna plan out her head a little bit more. Where's the picture? I have to delete some of these pictures in OBS. Alright, so for her hair, what I'm thinking of doing is we could try to do the hat. If I could find my other pictures, not that one. do is kind of get this on here. Probably need a base. So the hair is gonna be up higher, like so. Maybe we'll scrap the hat. I don't know if I can get the hat to work with the ponytail stuff. Yeah, maybe scrap the hat. Just kind of get her hair there. Do the ponytail. Sort of have the bangs come down and around type thing. Pictures that, well, maybe we can do the hat. I could try to do the hat first. So thinking of going more with that look. So if I was to do the hat on her, it would be more. I'm assuming she's got to have the hat on since most of those girls have the hat. So I'm thinking more like this. Yeah, I think more like that. And then once you get the hat on, we sculpt the hair kind of bunching out of it. And then we add the bangs. So what we have to do is the bangs. I'm looking at something like that. So I think we're gonna try the hat. We're gonna sculpt the hat first, see what happens. Get a nice close-up of this hat. Hey, how's it going, Iceman? Alright, I am going to mix up a little bit of Aves to match about this much, and I think we can get this sculpted. And then sculpt the hair, squishing out of it. It should come together pretty well. And then this hair, sort of have it in the front. Hanging in there. Before I actually get started on this, I did get in the mail this week some items I've been waiting for. So I'll just show you guys this. So it's a good week for this stuff. I'm still working on my display for the TV room, but I found a copy of this at a 9.6. So I snagged it off that site called My Comic Book Shop. So I need one more number, and I got 58 through 74 all done. Now these I sent in the CVCS a year ago. So this one was my own personal copy of 69. This is the first appearance of Huntress. I wish this was a higher number, but I'm pretty happy I got a 9.2 on it though. It's not the end of the world that it's a 9.2. My college buddy last year gave me this one. This is the first appearance of Sage. So I wanted a first appearance of her, but since he gave me his copy, he actually had two of these. He gave me the better copy. So I'm actually happy I got a 9.2 on this one. So this is a good one. And then I had two more copies of this one, and I can't believe I got a 9.2 on one of them. So I got an 8.0 and a 9.2. So I have these are the first Power Girl, so I got a bunch of these already. But it took a year for CVCS to get these graded. But pretty happy with them so far. Maybe down the line, if I could find a higher grade of this one, I'll snag it. But for right now, a 9.2 is okay. But yeah, this one right here, I had one, a nice copy, but I think it would only been like a 9. But when I saw this one pop up online, I snagged it. Going for all the Bronze Age stuff. I want to finish up that run, and once that run is done, I'll be happy. That's pretty much my week. Hopefully you guys' weeks have been going good. Just working. We had a nice day yesterday. I was in the garage all day, so that was good. Hey, Scott. Actually been having a lot of fun trying to hunt down these older comics in good condition. The good thing is they're not like super highly rare sought out comics, so I'm getting them while I can. Because probably once DC starts doing their movies, all this stuff will skyrocket in price. But I did notice a lot of the older DC stuff is starting to really go up in prices now. So I think a lot of people are doing like that whole speculation thing. I'm just trying to fill out my collection. Get some signed books done this year at some cons, so for I can get my display. I want to have a statue, and then I want to have like a signed comic next to it, graded. It's kind of like the display I want to do this year. Alright, so let's get rid of this picture. Let's get this one. Try to follow this hat. I use a old, what are they, DSLR cameras or whatever. Not old, but it was my brother's. So the camera pretty much does most of the work as long as you kind of get a good light source. So I don't use a phone or anything like that. I use a DLSR. I think when my brother got it, it was like a $1,500 camera type thing. But the way photography works, though, is I guess if it really doesn't matter the camera you use. It's all about if you know how to do the aperture, the settings, the lighting, and make it look good. I'm bad at photography. I was always bad at photography, even in art school. So I really am not the person to ask for that type of stuff. I wish I was better, but I'm not. Because honestly, I think my even my camera now, I still feel that I'm not doing a good job with it. I always feel like the color's always off, but see, I find the DLSR I have when I take my photography pictures, if you see sometimes in the videos I have those nicer pictures before I start talking about the item. I feel that that camera takes better pictures and color than my iPhone. I feel like my iPhone over exaggerates the color too much. So I'm not really a fan of using my iPad and my phone. I feel that their colors are just, it's like the digital like software brings out the color so much it doesn't even look like what I painted. So I try not to use my phone for any of the stuff I really do. But I mean, I think you could get yourself like a decent like Canon or something off of like B&H Photo or something. That's just a decent good camera, and you could probably use that. You don't have to spend crazy amounts. I think like a $400 camera would probably be decent. Unless people in chat have better experiences and they can give you better info. Well, yeah, I could see that. If you're only going to be taking a few pictures and you're not going to invest into it and use it all the time, then yeah, I would say don't waste the money. But if you think it's something you might want to need down the line over and over, but yeah, if you got like a place you can walk over to, bring your item and have them take some nice pictures for a few bucks, it's actually not a bad idea. Hey Jacob, week's been alright. Can't complain too much. How's yours been? Hey Raz, no, just kind of planning out the head a little bit more. Gonna give her the hat, and then kind of sculpt the hair around that. Hey Ming, how's it going? So these have a little bit of a not really sure what that is, but we'll add it anyway. I know that stuff sticks up a little bit higher, which I might have to add later. Kind of just get a basic shape going for now. I don't know, Raj, do you think this would work? With the hat, and then put the hair all around messy underneath of it? Since this is kind of the one you chose to win. So should we take the hat off? I mean, I don't mind, just do the regular ponytail. because I'm not going to get it to look exactly like the artwork, so it might look a little bit weird. I think maybe we'll scrap the hat. The more I work on it, the more I don't like it. Yeah, let's scrap it. I'm not really like it. Doesn't look. It looks a little too much like a hard hat on her right now. Screw it. I don't know. I'm not really a good hat sculptor, so I don't know, I think it'll just look weird on her. Actually, I mean, I could make it smaller, but I don't think I don't. You know what it is? I'm not comfortable with my skill level on sculpting the hat. It's not something I've really ever did before. And I feel that I would have to sculpt it in like 20 different sections. Maybe we'll just go with the nice bushy hair. Give her some good bangs on her. Have a lot more fun with it that way. Well, let's sculpt the hair. Let's get the basic shape of the hair going around the edges up to the ponytails. And then once that's cured up and we start planning out the ponytails, we can come back to the hat and then maybe see. But like I said, I don't think I can really pull off the hat too well. Well, their hats are sort of like a Stewart's hat, I guess, but it's kind of that Ghost in the Shell thing. There's probably some STL files I could find, but let's get the hair going first. Look at the hole. Yeah, we're doing pigtails. I already have the rods bent out for the basic idea. So usually when I do this type of hair, I do the lines first, and then after that I'll do the pigtails, and then from there I'll do the bangs. Which one did you finish, Raz? Oh, okay. You did, Iceman? Yeah, I'll take a look. Send it to my email? Yeah, they hit you with those pre-order stuff. You never know when you gotta start paying. Oh yeah, Iceman, I got it. It looks pretty good. I mean, the only thing I would say is just the forehead's got that sheen to it. But other than that, it looks good. I'm not sure if it's the used flat coat on the forehead or you're looking to keep it shiny like that. That's just what jumped out at me right away. But other than that, it looks pretty good. I mean, I have that problem too when I take pictures. I get that sheen on areas I don't want it. That's probably because I got too much lighting in my photo setup. I don't know. I try to get somebody to come help me with my setup, but a guy I know, his friend, doesn't do that. Even though he's a photographer, he won't go to like someone's house and help them set it up. I don't know. Hey, the spider, webs? Well, there's a couple ways of doing webs. Are you looking to do webs underneath his, arms? Or are you looking to do webs where he's shooting it? Or are you looking to paint webs? Oh, the webbing on his costume. Oh, okay. Phew. That's kind of a... It's always a pain in the ass, actually. So if you're looking to do webs, yeah, you could try to 3D pen. I've never done it before, but I've seen people do that. There's a couple of ways of doing it that's kind of a nightmare. The way I used to do it is, for example, what I would do is I would draw my lines. You know, I would draw my lines, and then I would kind of do this, right? So then what I would do is, you see this notch here? I would use a Dremel tool, and I would sit there with my Dremel tool, and I would kind of etch it out into the item. The only problem though is doing that on polystone. If you screw up, you got to go back in there and fix it. The other way of doing it is if you want to do it with A's, you can sort of take your A's, flatten it down, right? Just flatten it, and then what you could do is you can sit there and you can slice a piece off with your X-Acto blade, right? And then you can slice another piece of your X-Acto blade. And then you can let that sit for the night, you know, let that sit, and then you can lightly sand it, and then the next day what you do is you take a little bit of your A's and then you build the corner, the rounded part. So you put a little bit of A's there, and you can sort of cut your piece off of it, right? And you can let that dry, and then you can sand that down. Now you don't sand it to the part where like you wipe it off, but you see how it's kind of high? You could kind of sand it down, and then then when you go to paint, you have raised pieces. So that's another way of doing it, but that's tedious work. That's sitting there doing a line, let it cure, next day come back, do a line, and you can do it that way. Or you can notch in like I did here. You can notch in there with the Dremel tool. No, it's not that. You can't do that with the A's. Like if you try to make really thin A's and you do that, it's a nightmare. You're better off just putting a thin layer of A's and cutting it with an X-Acto. Trust me, otherwise I would be rolling A's and do straight lines like that all the time. And the other thing you can do is if you did it if you sculpted it with A's and you have yourself a good dentist tool. Let me find it. Hold on. There's a couple dentist tools out there you can snag. These are expensive, but they're amazing. Hold on. Alright, so see this dentist tool right here? If you look at it at the very, very edge, which is hard to see, it's actually like a triangle. It's like a triangle. And this is, you can scrape this. So if you have A's, I'll grab a piece in the garage. Alright, so if you have if you sculpted A's onto your item, like if you did some sculpt work and you drew your line, you know, you can sit there with a good dentist tool and you can sort of score a straight line. I'm kind of just winging this, but you can score a straight line with your X-Acto blade. And then if you have one of these dentist tools, you can actually sit there and sort of scribe out that line and just keep scribing it. and scribing it and scribing it, but it might not be perfect. But if you put your fingernail there, it kind of hits the fingernail. But this is tedious though, because then you have to do the curves, and if you mess up, you got to get back in. Spider-Man lines are a nightmare. That's why I don't do many Spider-Man customs. Because usually when people ask me, I'm like, you realize how much work it is to do all those lines on Polystone, because Polystone you can't really scribe. And then I give a quote, and then people are like, no, I'm not doing it. Because like sitting there scribing those lines in or sculpting those lines in is a nightmare. So you definitely got a hell of a project on your hands. Yeah, but Iceman, don't forget, back in the day we didn't have the digital stuff, so you had to do it by hand, you know? And it was a pain in the ass. But like Iceman said, look into those. I was always thinking of look into those pens that are 3D printing pens. Basically you have the pen and a little tiny squiggly line comes out of it, you know, like a line. So you might actually be able to sit there and actually like use that pen and sort of put your, like, draw your lines onto it. So look into one of those 3D pens. And I would do an experiment too. I would get an item, right? Take your 3D pen and sort of like sculpt your line onto it and let it cure up. And then hit it with primer and then see if it sticks. Like see if it bonds to like your Polystone or your you know, or your primer, and see if it works. Then the other thing you have to think about is if it works, when you go to paint it, is it going to look good when you paint it too? So it's never really an easy project, to tell you the truth. When I did those back in black Spider-Mans from Sideshow, and when I tried to scribe those lines on it, it took me like a month of scribing. It was a friggin' nightmare. Oh no, don't worry about that. That's what the streams are for. You come and ask me questions and I'll try and help you out the best way you can. Now, the other thing you can do is if you think you can pull it off, like if you think you're good enough, you can sit there and paint up the red, and with a black you know, marker or a black pencil or maybe a paintbrush, you could sit there and see if you can paint the lines on yourself very lightly and then build them up. You can try that too. So I don't know, you gotta kind of experiment. Like I said, I don't really do too many Spider-Man stuff anymore. Because nowadays, most of the people, there's so much Spider-Man stuff being 3D sculpted, it's like, why have someone like me do a Spider-Man when every Spider-Man out there is in Venomized, you know? So well, right now the hottest thing is everything is Venomized. So I've even seen a Venomized Magneto now. So if you're into Venom symbiotes, they're making everything. I mean, I don't really care. I mean, it's just funny that's all you see. But whatever. All I know is that's all I see these days, so. No problem, Spider. Hopefully it works out for you. No, no Venom, Harley. Not doing that. I'm sure somebody will do it soon. I'm not a big Venom fan, so I know that's gonna upset some people. Not a big Spider-Man fan either. Never really was. Like when I go to the comic book shows, all you ever see is Amazing Spider-Man 300 on everybody's wall. You know, like that's the comic book to own. It cracks me up. I remember going to the comic book store and seeing that on the shelf when it first came out, and I was like, yeah, whatever. Now I wish I bought it just to sell it. Hey, what's up, Raphael? Yeah, it's funny that like when you watch like YouTubers, the influencers, or you go to a comic book show, it's like every wall is Spider-Man 300. Like there's so many of them out there. I don't understand how it's worth as much it is. That was the age of when comic books, they were printing like, you know, 250,000 copies of a comic, you know? And I'm not knocking anyone that goes and buys it. It's just funny that that comic is like, people act like on the influencers, like if you don't own this comic, you're not a collector type thing. That weird mentality. And then you watch some influencers don't even know what's in the comic. They're just like, I have this. And I'm like, right, it's nothing special. Don't knock Death to Superman. I have a box of those. I'm going to retire off those books. Just you wait and see. That old Death of Superman was a riot too back in the day. As of right now, I sold off all my comics. When I first moved down here in 2012, I had 16 long boxes, and I lost my job, so I sold about 10 long boxes. And I stopped collecting after House of M. But actually in the beginning of the stream, I showed what I got in recently. I'll show you now. Let me wash my hands. I'm finishing up my All-Star run. I just want like good graded copies, and then that's it for display. I don't want anything in boxes anymore. All I'm doing is I'm collecting first appearance and key copies of characters I love. So I want like just like maybe I don't know, like maybe like 5 CGC boxes and that's it of comics. So I'm finishing up my All-Star run. This is number 66 out of 96. I just need one more and I finish 58 through 74. I forgot what number I need. I think it's 61. I'm trying to get 96 or better on this run. This one right here is my my number 69. I wish I got a higher grade. I just got these in this week. I sent these in a year ago. I wanted to try CBCS on these. So this is a first appearance of Huntress. So like I said, I think I just need number 61 and I'm done with the run on that. I've always had these. I wanted to keep them, but my copies are so beat up. They're like probably a 1.5. So I've just been trying to get better copies. My college buddy gave me this one. First appearance of Sage, so I had this graded. He had 2 copies. He gave me the better one. So this is like a good personal copy. And then of course I had 2 more first appearances of Power Girl. I sent these in. So I got a 9.2 on this one, which is great. And then I got an 8.0 on this one. So I'm just trying to fill up my All-Star run and get these. And then after this, I'm getting a couple signed this year at some conventions so I can have a statue and a signed copy next to it. So that's my goal. No, only modern stuff is probably like, you know, Power Girl covers. But I'm just trying to finish up the Bronze Age stuff. And once the Bronze Age stuff is done, I'm just going to get some signed. And then I'm done. Unless I figure, trying to, like I got, like the past 3 years I've been collecting first appearances of my Grail characters. So I got first appearance of Superboy Prime. I got first appearance of Supergirl Linda Danvers. I got, you know, going for like I got a bunch of first appearance of Power Girl. I got a couple copies of first appearance of Bart Allen. So I'm just kind of going for my characters, and then that's all I want to do. Yeah, the graded stuff is kind of where it's at now. It's kind of hard to find good raw copies of the old bronze stuff because everybody is sending it in the graded now. So, like, I went to a comic book show 2 weeks ago over there in New Jersey, and all the ungraded stuff was like beat up to all hell, and all the good stuff was already graded. So, a lot of the older stuff that I want, if you want a good copy, it's going to be graded. They're not, you can't find raw good copies anymore. Yeah, I'm not going crazy collecting. I'm actually selling more than I'm collecting. What I'm doing is I sold off all my 90s X-Men, like all that Jim Lee stuff. I sold all that off to somebody local. I sold the whole box. I got rid of all the other X-Men books. So all I really have left is a box of Flash comic books and a box of Captain Marvel stuff, and the rest is graded stuff. So I'm at that thing where if I can't see it, I don't want it. So I want to have a statue, I want to have a signed graded book, a key issue, and then I want my good graded stuff like in my box just to keep, and then that's it. I mean, I don't know what you guys do. I don't know if you're collecting guys or if you're into the modern stuff. I'm not really, you know, I'm trying to get the stuff that I always loved, and I'm trying to just get better copies of it, and and also signed stuff. I think once you guys see my display when it's done, you probably like it. I look at it this way: if I ever retire out of New Jersey, I am not lugging like 16 long boxes with me. You know, if I retire, I just want like 4 boxes of graded books, and like that's it. You know, that's all I really want. I mean, it was fun collecting as a kid and having all this stuff and going to the shows and comic book stores, but a lot of the stuff I haven't opened up since I bought it as a kid to read it, so I'm like, why do I have it anymore? Though I have to laugh, though, of all the people that are speculating. Like, for years, like, She-Hulk first appearance was a good comic book to find, but it wasn't like something like, oh my god, I have to run out and get it right away. And once the TV show was announced, everybody was running out, they were paying high dollar for it, and the show actually bombed, and then all these people who spent like $1,500 or $2,000 over normal price, it all tanked in price now, so I guess people are falling into that whole speculation thing now. I collect what I like and that's it. I'm not collecting for speculation or because it's going to be worth money or whatever. I just kind of want these items and that's it. But if you're DC collectors, go get them now while you can, because the speculation is starting with DC now, and I'm starting to see a lot of them rise in price. Yeah, Jacob, when I was young, like when I was probably like, I started collecting probably at like 5 almost. I was going to like the 5 and dime store, and picking up books. Um, we called it Dave's Sweet Shop. So a lot of those books were beat to all hell. Like I had like old Thors, old Iron Mans, but they were like torn and ripped and they weren't really like, they weren't like the old like 60s or 70s stuff. This was kind of more of the 80s, you know? Um, there were a lot of good issues, but I beat them up. But once I actually got older and I started going to the comic book store on my own, I started becoming very picky, and I would bring bags and boards, and I would, I would bag and board everything as I took it off the shelf. I always wanted the best copies. So a lot of my copies from like in the 90s were really mint. So I sent in a lot to get graded back in the lockdowns because everything was skyrocketing. So I was getting a lot of books in the mail that were high grades, like 9.8s, 9.6s, and I was selling them on eBay like crazy. So that's what helped me fund my display room that I'm working on. So I'm kind of happy I did all that. But all the stuff that was beat up, I put in a box and I sold it locally. That application called Offer Up. It used to be called what? Is it Offer? It's Offer Up now. It used to be called something else. And I sold all my boxes locally. And surprising, was a lot of young guys, like in their 20s, 30s, picking it up. So I want to kick my parents' ass because they had like first Wonder Woman, first Superman. They had all the Buck Rogers stuff, Western comics. But when they were like in their 20s, they just like threw it all away because like at that time, like who the hell wants that kid stuff, But if they saved all that stuff, shit, we'd be living like high life right now, Well, yeah, Jacob, you're not in a good area to do that. Yeah. So you might as well just sell it on eBay or a comic book store or something. Damn, Jacob, where the hell do you live at? You gotta get out of that area, man. Not for the safety of you, for the collectibles. You can't have the collectibles shot up, man. That's the most important thing. Oh, I forgot to ask. Should I just throw away the old parts, or do you want me to hold on to them? I didn't put those in the box. No problem, Spider. Thanks for watching and stopping by. No, Jacob, I'm just gonna chuck them. I have no need for them. Alright, I think that's a good start for the hair. And then I'll have to Dremel out the holes again a little bit better. And then after I do the the pigtails, we'll work out the bangs. So it looks a little weird now, but once you add the bangs on there, we'll kind of do some fluffy bangs, sort of, you know. Sort of like that picture, a little bit funner, fluffier bang type thing. Should work out. Alright, so as far as her body goes, let's get this I don't know if, I don't even know, like Raz said, I don't even think we need to do the hat. I think if we make the hair bushy enough and we put the you know, the stuff on her, I think it'll work out fine. So I don't think we need to, really. What I want to do right now is I want to add cut off there. Hoping this eaves isn't too tough. Feels a little too tough now. I'll mix up some more. Actually, wait a second. Yeah. Let's get this going. Alright, anyway. We'll mix up some A's for the sleeve in a second. So, what I did for the Psylocke base is I bent steel rods, the square steel rods. I put this piece on here like this, and I put the magnet there. So I'm going to put eaves around each piece, and then when that's done, I can glue, glue or attach them to the leaves. So what I did is I dremelled out the leaves areas really thick, and then this way, this one I have to, you know, fix a little bit more because I kind of close them in. But for leaves like this one here, it'll hold this up a lot better. Because the previous stuff like this regular resin will snap. So now there's a rod going all the way in there. There's two rods going down there, and this rod is actually bent up to here. So when you put this piece on there with the magnet, I don't have to worry about it snapping or anything once it's done. So it should work out pretty well. So now we just can take some of the saves and try to lock these in place. So yesterday I had a really good day in the garage, so I figured let me get all this stuff rolling. I also added a bunch of magnets at the bottom of the rocks for the Psylocke base. I patched up Psylocke's hair that broke off too, this little piece there. So now I just need a day and do some wet sanding, kind of get all these cleaned up, get this ready to go, and we should be ready to start rolling on these. No, I'm not adding a light. I'm not good with the LED stuff, plus too much to figure all that out. I mean, LEDs are nice, but I'm not really a fan of them. Partly because I'm not good at doing it, and second of all, I don't know, I find that trying to sit there and go and light up your statue and look at it for a while, then turn the light off, and I don't know. The wiring, if the wiring goes bad, you don't set it up to fix the wiring, it's a nightmare. And then batteries, they actually leak. Like, a lot of those batteries people get from these statues that light up, if you don't pay attention, those things are leaking in your boxes. Or it's leaking in the base of the item. I've had a lot of people ask me in the past to fix their lighting because the batteries were all like caking up their inside of the base. That's why if you ever get an LED statue, swap out those batteries that come with it. Put in like Duracells or whatever. Now this system better work. If this causes any problems, we're gonna go nuts. I think as long as these pieces stay in there, it'll work. So. Yeah, they give you really cheap batteries. Somebody sent me I think I bought one of the Jessica Rabbit statues that were damaged, and they left the batteries in the base that came with it. So when I opened up the item, I mean I got rid of the base anyway. I wasn't gonna use it, but when I opened it up, I looked at the inside of the base, and inside the batteries didn't pop, but they were all like, you ever see that white residue on your car battery after time that all that like grows on your battery? So that's what happened with that base. It was kind of nasty. It's like the acid from the battery like leaks out or something. Okay. Let me roll this out, make up some new fresh A's. Alright, so we're going to this arm. Which arm was it? Yeah, this arm. Duh. Yeah, so that's going to be skin showing, and that's going to be wrinkled down there. So we just need to mix up a little bit. Moving along a little bit faster now on this item, so that's good. I did get another item in the mail. That's another project for myself. Got a She-Hulk statue. Got a kit actually. I'm gonna do a kit review on it pretty soon once I get the information. Just got it in this week. I'm pretty sure you guys seen the She-Hulk that's got her like fist like this in front of her. It's a beautiful statue. That's gonna be a fun paint up down the line. Mix it in with all my other shit I gotta do. No, she's not tennis shoes. She's got jeans on, and she's got her leotard on, and she's got boots. Her hair is flipped over onto one side of her head. They did a Red She-Hulk version as well, and the Red She-Hulk is actually pointing, but it's kind of like the same sculpt. I'm gonna do a review on it. When I saw it, like when that guy first posted it, I was like, holy shit, that's a nice She-Hulk. So I inquired about it, and I actually got a kit of it for myself. So it finally came in. Really nice guy too, so that's gonna be a fun paint up. Once I get my display room done, and I start lining up all my kits and also my customs on the shelves, I can actually start planning on which ones I need to do and slowly start working on those when I have free time. So this year and next year is going to be a lot of just personal stuff as well. And then once those are done, I think it's a matter of just trying to work on like holy grail items. I think I know the one you're talking about, Jacob. I've seen pretty much all the She-Hulks that have been coming out. But my thing about the She-Hulk is, while I like, you know, some of the sculpts, it's too much. Like, everybody now is starting to put her in like lifting weights. So it's like Power Girl. She's always flexing one arm. So now She-Hulk, she's always like lifting weights. So it's kind of like, it seems like these characters are starting to get stereotyped with sculpts. So that's why I like the one where she was kind of like this, because it's like she's at the ready to fight, and it's really good anatomy. Just preference, I guess. sure we got the right one. Let me take a look. Yeah, that one's not bad. I've seen that one before. Not really a fan of her lifting up the outfit like that. And of course she's got the boob socks on. It's not split in the middle. I mean, it's split in the middle. It's weird looking. But it's not a bad anatomy on her. Yeah, I'm not a fan when they split the boobs like that. Like a leotard should go straight across. Not sure why sculptors do that. Just a pet peeve of mine. Yeah, Fairchild is pretty much there. It's just like fix the outfit in the center, redo the hair, and that's pretty much it. And of course the outfit. I forget Fairchild's exact like outfit, but I know what you're talking about. But I mean, it's not a bad sculpt. It's a good sculpt. It's just the boob socks have got to go. You know what it is? The hair isn't bad on it. You know, I'm looking at it. It's just, it's too puffy. It's, I think if they took down the hair down a bit, it would probably look better. I think it's just too, it's too much, on the left and right side of it. The length, the height is okay. It's too much on that side. I think that if they just took that down a bit, it would probably look better. The hair is 280s, I think, probably. It's got that really, really, like, you know, just a can of hairspray in there. No, David Lee Roth didn't have it that high. He had some hair, but it wasn't that. I don't know about Ozzy. Ozzy had some hair, but I don't think it was that. It was probably more, Def Leppard, or what was it, was it Def Leppard that had the crazy hair too? Whitesnake? Yeah, maybe it was Whitesnake I was thinking about. I know. What was the? Was it Whitesnake? Nah, what am I? Damn it! It's on the tip of my tongue. Now I'm gonna. Damn it! What was that group? Twisted Sister, yeah, more Twisted Sister. That's what I'm thinking of, Twisted Sister. I don't know why the hell I couldn't think of that name there for a second. Oh my god, how the hell did I have a brain fart on that one? Quest Studios She-Hulk? Is that the one that I got? Quest Studios? Let me see. I'm gonna look online. Oh, the Jae-Young Lee She-Hulk. Yeah, okay, I know the one you're talking about. That one looks pretty good. I have to admit, that one looks pretty good. Because I love Jae-Young Lee's artwork. I absolutely love his artwork. So that's probably going to be a nice statue. No, but Twisted Sister, that looks like the She-Hulk hair. Twisted Sister. You know, watch the video where We're Not Gonna Take It. And they had that hair flowing. I look back at the 80s and I'm glad I'm more of a 90s kid. Even though I was born in 77, I'm still glad that I didn't have that crazy hair or do all that 80s stuff. I was too young for it. The 90s is where I was at. Raphael, did it is it fully painted or are you painting it? Because sometimes these things I like them, but I would only want them if I could get a kit, you know? Have fun, Raz. Yeah, when I saw that one, I kind of was like, ooh, maybe I should get it, but because I like Jae-Young Lee, but I'm just so tapped out with stuff. It seems that every time Jae-Young Lee does a cover, you got guys that are making a sculpt with it like in a day. It's crazy. Yeah, that one walking through the wall is a classic cover, so that one actually looked pretty good. I wish they would do a Jae-Young cover of the Magic, you know, the X-Men Magic character. That would look like a cool sculpt if one of those guys did that one. I know they did, somebody did a sculpt of the Psylocke Jae-Young Lee. That one looked pretty good. But Jae-Young Lee did, which one? He just did a Psylocke, I know he did the She-Hulk one, and then he just posted a Scarlet Witch, but it wasn't a full body, it was just a face. I'm hoping one day he does a Power Girl. Then maybe one of these guys on Facebook will do a sculpt of it. That would look kind of cool. I know he did a couple DC. I mean, he only did like a few DC covers, I think. He did the Robin cover. I know he did a Lady Death cover. But I don't think he really did many DC covers yet. Like that. That looks pretty good. Okay. I hope somebody does a Power Girl off of that Will Jack cover that came out. That would be awesome. There's a couple good artists that are out there now. That's usually how gloves go, right? They have the little part around there. Am I thinking about this wrong, or am I thinking about it right? Cut off gloves, right? Cut off gloves? Biker gloves or cut off gloves? Biker gloves? Nah, cut off gloves. Yeah, sort of, kind of goes onto the strap. Okay. I don't know what DC or Marvel is doing, honestly. DC and Marvel are kind of all over the place. This would be strapped there, and that would be that's hidden, sort of. We'll do my own design on it. Screw it. No one will design. I love the covers that these artists like Warren Lau, Will Jack, this new guy Labos, Villa Labos. I forget his first name. There's Art Germ. There's all these other artists out there, and they do great covers. But the interiors of the book are horrible. I'm not really a fan of them. I like the old school artwork, you know. So interiors aren't really looking good, but the covers is like what's selling the book these days. So I don't know. There's not really a lot of no-name guys now as far as covers. There's a lot of famous people in today's world doing the covers. Of course, there's a couple artists that do good work, but I'm not a fan of the artwork that do covers. Not stuff that I would really like be into. You know what? Let's do something different. I don't want to do this. I want to do something different on the gloves. How about we do padding, like a biker glove instead? I got an idea. Let's do this. Hopefully I don't hit the other side while I'm doing this side. finger's in the way. Alright, I think once I buff them down, try to make them a little puffy. Won't really see them much anyway. So what I'll try to do is work out the strap on this one. And maybe try to make it look like there's a strap on that one a little bit. Sorry, get this camera back a bit. Alright, wait, before I do that, let's get this piece done. I keep forgetting it. It's something small and stupid. Oh, if you guys want to see something kind of cool, with this statue, I was working on this for someone I know. He had an extra Harley head, and I made a key. I'm doing a video on it, so I figure I'll show you guys. So we put this head on this statue. It's kind of cool. I didn't even think it was in scale. So made a key, and then worked out pretty well. I don't know where he got this. I think he found it got it off eBay. So yeah, it worked out pretty well. The only downside was just trying to get the neck. The neck was just a little bit bigger than the neck that came with this item, so I had to do a lot of sanding. So right now I got to touch it all up. It you know, it's kind of like where we're going with her hair on this one, but we're kind of doing my own little take on it. Not as puffy, but yeah, there was like the back of her neck there was like really thick, so I had to like sand it all down, and I positioned it in a way where it looked like it worked. So like and when you get her in this like one pose, it really looks pretty cool. So it's a little fun little project. It's kind of funny, the more and more these heads end up on, like, you know, these statues get broken, or people sell heads that get replacements. It seems more and more people are starting to like want to swap out heads and contacting me. Although we found out that Marvel heads are smaller than the DC heads. I'm not sure if that's intentional or if it's their scaling curve. But it seems like a lot of the Marvel heads are smaller than DC stuff, and it seems that DC, for like at least with the sideshow stuff, seems to be just a little bit bigger than the Marvel stuff. So I'm not sure why that is, but that's kind of what's I've been learning with all this stuff. Yeah, so I keep forgetting to do this one. Okay. I gotta get her shoulder badge on. Forgot about that. And then finish up a lot of the other stuff, and we're looking pretty good. Come on, get down there. There we go. Oh, did I just touch it? I did, you son of a... Alright, gotta do that again real quick. But that's looking good. Alright, hair's looking good. Pretty happy with that. I'm glad we came up with this piece coming down over there. That makes life easier. So that works. So let's do this diamond again, since I just crushed it. That's what I hate about doing different sections while working on the statue. You sometimes mess up the item you're working on. So, alright, do it again. Not the end of the world. Wasn't that complex. Alright, can't crush it this time. Don't grab it up that high on the leg. Alright, so next week we'll be able to start working on the hair a bit more. I think what I'll do is during the week I'll put these pieces in there and I'll build out sort of the hair a little bit to give me a starting point. And then basically we can start working on those. When I do the bangs, if I have to chop out some of this to kind of build out the bangs, I probably will. It's kind of easier to sculpt it in now. And then we got to add the zipper. I'm not going to do it now because I have to hold it a certain way. So we got to add the zipper. I got to get the shield on her shoulder, which is here. I got to get that on. I'll probably get it on during the week. And I got to get over to the hardware store, and I got to get some of those pieces to add onto here, and then it'll look pretty good. And other than that, I got to get Psylocke moving along for paint. I added all the magnets to the bases. I got to finish that up. And I got to do wet sanding. Yeah, what I have to do too on her is I got to do some wet sanding. So I got to prime her up again. And then I got to wet sand her to kind of clean it up. I did a lot of the sanding on her legs this week too. I did a lot of sanding and cleaning up the leg areas. There was a lot of putty work I had all over her. I kind of cleaned up some areas around there and stuff. I did clean up the back of her a lot too. There was a whole bunch of mess ups back here. There's a lot of dust in the line. I have to take out all that dust. Trying to think. Other than that, it's just a matter of fine tuning and finishing up the hair. So what I'll probably do is, if I can get her wet sanded and I can clean up the body and I can get just kind of like focus up here, I'll have to use saran wrap whenever I do the hair, because once I start like wet sanding an item, if you handle it with ease and you're doing all this stuff, you start getting all that residue and you pull up the, you know, the primer. So it's kind of good to like wrap it up too when you're kind of doing a little bit of the hair type stuff. But I'm liking the way she's coming out. It's kind of, we had a little bit of a delay. I had some family stuff going on, but now that we're kind of back to work, we're kind of moving along a little faster. So once we start working on the hair, we're going to have to come up with another Friday stream character. So I got a couple items. I'll have to put a poll on Patreon. Maybe we'll use the Dark Phoenix body. Unless I have something. I got a bunch of items. I got to figure out which one we can use. Unless we do, unless we go off book and we go with the poison statue, and we try to make a different character out of the poison. I have let me grab it. Statue's so heavy with this hair. So yeah, the Dark Phoenix statue is kind of, it's kind of hard to figure out what I want to do with that one too. Like I said, I got a couple ideas. So this statue, I don't know if you guys know pop culture. Well, it's Premium Collectibles. They did it again. So this is the old version, and I actually own the new version because I love the new one way better. You too, Scott. Thanks for stopping by. So what I'm thinking of doing with this one, I made a Bowsette out of it. So I was thinking maybe we could turn this one into not Bowsette, but they have that the Boozette, the Ghost Girl, or the, I like the, you know, the one, you know, the girl, is it Chompette, the one that has the chomping. I like that design better. So I was thinking of maybe turning this one into that one. I was thinking maybe that might be the next character to work on during the streams. I have to find some reference art though. I don't know. I gotta find some stuff. But I like the new version better because they did the sculpted outfit and they tweaked up the anatomy more. So I'm just thinking of trying to do something like that on the streams with this one. Yeah, I'm gonna figure out which I'm gonna do, Raz. I'm leaning toward more the Chomp one, only because I like that design. I could do what I want to do with it, but I'm not gonna do a different head. I'm gonna keep the head. It's just gonna be like a cosplay girl. I'm not re-sculpting the head this time. So so I'll figure it out. It's one of the many side projects I got piled up. You know, I got so many of these damaged items I got to do stuff with. And since I got the new one of this poison, I don't like the old one anymore. Alright, that's what I'm calling the stream. I think we're moving along pretty well. So I just got some elements to get on this one, and I think next week we could really start working on the hair. Once the hair is on her, she's going to come together, and then we can focus on painting her up. I want to really push this one along. So this week I'm going to try to get the elements for here, going to get the shoulder piece on, clean her up, and we're going to really focus on the hair next stream. Alright, you guys have a good weekend, have a good Easter. Hopefully you guys had a good day off. If you were, I think today was a day off for everybody. And I am going to bust my ass tomorrow, get my TV room set up. So have a good one, guys.